In John chapter 12, verse 24, Jesus teaches us that unless a grain of wheat falls to the ground and dies, it remains by itself, but if it dies, it produces much fruit. Church planting can take many different forms. Sometimes it starts with a small Bible study in a home. Sometimes a group of people feel called to move from one location to be commissioned as a team to plant in a new location. And sometimes God aligns the vision of a person feeling a call to plant a church with a group of people already in that location in a church that is nearing the end of its lifespan, but still has significant resources to offer a new kingdom work. That is considered a replant or relaunch. In each instance, it takes sacrifice and surrender to the Lord from both the sending church and the receiving church for a new gospel work to take place. And that is the amazing story of how Boones Mill Baptist Church in Franklin County decided to close their doors, give everything to a brand new church plant sent from Petsworth Baptist in Gloucester, and reopen as Ridgeview Church.
Well, I must say, I had no idea when I began as the transitional pastor at Boones Mill Baptist Church that I would end up being the last pastor of Boones Mill Baptist Church.
My granddaddy was one of the founders of the Boones Mill Baptist Church. That's where I joined the church and was baptized.
My family moved to this area in 2012, visited the church at that time, and I've been here ever since. At that time, Dr. Richard Harrell was the pastor, and we were meeting in here, had 2 services, and things were going really well. After Dr. Richard left, we had an interim pastor for a little while, and then we called a full-time pastor, but he didn't stay but for about a little less than a year, actually. That's when we really started to see some decline, and there was some turmoil within the church. And we called Mike Palmer as our transitional pastor, and that's when we began to kind of stabilize again.
I decided, well, Lord, the only thing I know to do is preach the Bible. So I did that, and we just stuck to the Word of God. We trained the church in church health, and they opened their hearts to me. And that was critical for this time period. Had they not been willing to do that, none of this would have ever happened.
I was born and raised here in Franklin County. Straight out of high school, I joined the Navy. Lo and behold, God had something different for me. So after a year of seeking God's face, I surrendered into ministry, ended up being the student pastor at Petsworth Baptist Church. We took our students on a mission trip to Boston, and in that week, God got a hold of my heart in a way that I can't explain. And so the more I prayed about it, the more we felt like God was calling us into church planting. 2 years later, He had us in Franklin County, Virginia.
It was Sunday morning before service, and Mike said that there would be 31 visitors with us that Sunday morning.
So we visited, we came in, we kind of connected with them, and we left. 3 weeks later, I got a phone call and saying, hey, we're exploring the opportunity of closing down and just letting you guys plant the church here.
We thought we were going to be just a small little launch team. Then as God allowed, the connection with people from Boones Mill definitely shifted what we thought this church was going to look like.
Once the church made the decision to officially close down as Boones Mill and dissolve the church, it's just been a sense of excitement about what God has done and what God is going to do.
Here are these families willing to uproot everything that they've known and leave it and come to this area and plant a brand new church.
Moving across the state is scary and makes you feel like you're all alone, and the people here have not made us feel that way.
They have been a complete support system for those that have moved from Gloucester and wrapped their arms around them and loved them like they've known them for years.
The way I look at it, if they hadn't have came, we would have lost our church. It would be empty.
This is why we have SBCV, because they help facilitate this missional thing happening. The reason God planted a Boones Mill Baptist Church is still here.
There's a desire for Jesus here, and so we're excited about what God is going to do in this small town and where it's going to go in the future. Not just Ridgeview, but the kingdom being advanced.